So once more, good morning, friends. My name is Caroline Lim from COC-SUSS SR Naden School of Human Development. Welcome to the COC-SUSS Charities Lean Forward webinar. And today we'll be talking about volunteer recognition, recruitment, and retention. And volunteer indeed is a precious asset for the nonprofit sector. We depend on our volunteers for a lot of our services, especially to reach out to our beneficiaries. But more importantly, with volunteers, they can be our partners to build communities, to co-create services for the community. So today we have lined up not just a speech from Dr. Ang, our Commissioner of Charities. We also have our, many of you will know her, Professor Teng Suchin from SUSS, and also the President of Loving Heart to give her presentation. Now, without further ado, let me invite our Commissioner of Charities, Dr. Ang Seng, to deliver his opening address. Dr. Ang, please.
Okay, can the screen be off? Can someone turn off the screen?
I am turning off here.
Okay. My brothers and sisters, good morning. First, I must thank SUSS, particularly Prof. Teng and Caroline for organizing these seminars in partnership with COC. My brothers and sisters in the charity and non-profit sectors, you all have been doing a lot of good work. And if somebody asks me what is the important part about your work, I will summarize in 2 points. I will say that the work you are doing is about the resilience of the country. The work you have been doing is to ensure that no one is left behind. Is to ensure that when someone falls, there is always a helping hand. So resilience is what we thank you for. Another very important role you have played is you have created an opportunities to care people who want to help. You are the platform where people go to you so that they can help others. In other words, you are the glue that bring the people sector, the public sector, and the private sector together. You are the platforms, you are the intermediary, and you are the centerpiece. So my brothers and sisters, with that, I really thank you for your contribution, particularly in these very difficult times, known as COVID-19. Central to the good work that you all have been doing must be what? Must be people. And that's why I'm very happy that this morning, our conversation with you is about people. And who are the people in your sectors? Well, they are volunteers. So that's why Prof. Suchin today is going to share with you the secret of volunteerism. Please listen carefully, because after her presentation, I may conduct an exam. And if you fail the exam, you may not be my friend. And many of you all know that you want to be my friend. No, there's no exam, but I think you know what I mean, why I say it, because I think the content are important. In addition to volunteers, there are another two groups of people form the people of the non-profit sectors. And these are the management teams, people who join the sector full times. And the last group of people, I like to call them, these are the leadership team, or these are the board and trustees. So the peoples of the charities comprises of three groups of peoples that help the beneficiaries. And they are the volunteers, the management teams, and the trustees, or the board. Now, since people is so important to our sectors, the question is, how are we developing people in our sectors? And that is my topic of my discussion with you this morning. And that is people management in how can we nurture people in our sectors. And I want to frame it with 3 W's. I put it to you that to nurture people in our sectors, you need to focus on work, the first W, workplace, the second W, and workforce, the third W. So if you mind, I have a deck of slides. I wanted to show it to you so that it's easy to understand. Let me show you, I share with you my screens. You bear with me a moment for the disruption. All right, as I shared, the title of my presentation this morning is about people management in the non-profit sectors, how to nurture the 3 W's, the work, the workforce, and the workplace. The work focus on the individuals. It focus on you and me. Particularly, it focus on why we join the sectors. The workforce focus on the community. It focus on you and me together. How can we make a difference to the sector? And finally, it's about the workplace. And the workplace, many of us think the workplace is about office. And I like to reframe that. The workplace is not about office. The workplace is about how can we collaborate so that we can create more values. Let me now focus on work. So what is work? Well, work have 2 parts. I put it to you that work is about alignment and impact. My brothers and sisters, 114 of you all this morning, why do you choose to attend the seminar this morning? Have you ever asked you these questions? Have you ever asked an even more important question? Why you join your sectors? Why do you join your charities? Why do you join your non-profit sectors? I put it to you that the reason why you join the charity and the non-profit sectors, and the reason why you're here this morning instead of sleeping, because some of us, still early, or instead of doing other things, you choose to attend, spend the time with us, is because I think of the word alignment. Alignment of what? Alignment that your inner compass. Now, all of us in our heart, there's a compass. I call the inner compass. Inside the inner compass, you find it alignment with the charities. Good example is some of us inside our heart is about caring for the community. So I joined the sectors, I joined the non-profit sector because I really care for my communities. Some of us join because I care for the environment. So I joined charities or non-profit sectors that promote sustainability. Some of us really love animals in our heart. Therefore, I join organizations that actually look after the well-being and welfare of animals. Some of us really have the inner compass that really have the heart for senior citizens. So what do? I join charities that help senior citizens so that they too enjoy a good quality of life. My brother and sister, what I want to share with you is this. People join the charity because of alignment. And once you have alignment, the passions will continue to burn. And the more you see alignment, the more it's like you're topping up fuel on the fire, and the fire will continue to become bigger and bigger. But to the contrary, after I joined the charities and my alignment keep dropping, what happened to the fire? The fire will become smaller and smaller and smaller. Therefore, as part of work, very important to our sectors is to make sure we continue to align the individual campus with the campus or the cause of the charity or the non-profit sectors. I cannot emphasize this more. It's so critical in our sectors. After alignment, I joined a charities, I joined a non-profit sector because my inner campus aligned with the cause. Next is what? Next is when I join, I want to make a difference. And this is called impact. You know, many of us are endowed with skills and assets. If I join a charity, I hope the charity will leverage on what I am good at, so that what I'm good at can pursue, can be used, the energy can be used to strengthen the alignment that I talked earlier, to strengthen the purpose that I've talked earlier. So, if imagine I join a charity as a volunteer, and every time I go to the charities, they ask me, oh, can you organize a show? So every time I go there, I'm there to, create events. That's it. Or worse, every time I'm there, they ask me to move table from A to B, B to A. Or every time I'm there, they ask me, can you bring the senior citizen to outing? And then I find that the senior citizen has been to that place for almost 10 times. How will you feel? Do you feel the impact? Do you feel that your time spent have made a difference to your cause, to your beneficiary you want to help? If the answer is no, I think you have a problem. The problem again is because I don't make a difference. I felt that I don't make a difference. What do? I will leave the sector. The work is not purposeful and not meaningful to me. This is where I like to share with you SPD. I thought SPD mission really touches my heart. So one day I visited SPD and I asked SPD, so what is your work? And SPD replied to me that, oh, our work, I expect them to tell me that the work is to help the needy or to help the disabled. But they didn't give me this answer. They said our work is to maximize the potential of people who need help. These are disabled. Very different, huh? I help you versus I maximize your potential are two different things. Because when I maximize your potential means what? I empower you. When I empower you means what? Means that I'm not giving you a fish. I'm teaching you how to fish. So effectively, SPD is telling me that their impact is not about giving. The impact is about enabling everyone so that they not only receive, but they are also able to give. You know, in this world, if you ever think that people like to receive only, I can tell you the answer is not. But if you are able to give people and then teach them so that they can give others, this is what I call dignity. Dignity is the highest form of impact than giving. Now, if you are working with, if people tell you this is your work, this is your nature of the work, your nature of the work is about dignity. It's about giving dignity rather than just giving hands out. Oh, I can tell you, you'll find it very meaningful, very inspirational. So, my brother and sisters, alignment and impact sound like there is only two alphabets, but I can tell you it requires deep thinking on how we organize work in charities, in non-profit sector, so that there's alignment and impact. It requires best practices. So, what are the best practices? Now I turn to the how. I have been doing a lot of research regarding to how can we organize work so that it has alignment and impact. I found the answer. The answer is this, my brother and sisters, which I'm going to promote as a standard competency for all charities. And that is design thinking. What is design thinking? Design thinking is about asking you to look at your work, not from your perspective, but look for the work from the perspective of the beneficiary. And after you are looking at the need of the beneficiary, you empathize what are their needs. Then you organize yourself around it. And you organize yourself and you do not do it until the cow comes down. You use rapid prototyping to test it out, learn from it, and then scale it up. My brother and sister, I know I have short-changed design thinking by summarizing it so short, but I hope we will work with SUSS to promote design thinking as a way to redefine work in our non-profit sector. Next is workforce. What is workforce? Workforce is we together in the private, we together in the non-profit sectors. It's not focusing on you and me, it's focusing on us as a sector. There are 2,000, if somebody asks me, officially we have 2,500 charities around there, ballpark, of which 50% are small charities. And if I dare to extrapolate this figure to the non-profit sectors, I will say it's about the same. The bulk of the non-profit sectors, like the charities, are small. And what is the issue with small? The advantage of small is you are limber, agile. But the disadvantage of small is you don't have economy of scope. You don't have economy of size. If you don't have economy of scale or size and don't have economy of scope, we have a problem. When a talent joins the sector, and if the talent happen to land up in a small charity, for example, what will happen? You will work in the charities, in that small charity, but it doesn't give the person, the person has far much more potential. After learning in a small charity, how can the person grow so that he got opportunity to do more complicated work, more complex work, more big works, so that it fuels his inner passion? So what do we do? Well, some of y'all are quite good, I must say. Some of the small charities and non-profit sectors, you start to find big brothers. You find a bigger charities, a bigger non-profit sector, and you have some alliances so that, you know, people who have joined you after you have hit certain grades and you know that he has a bigger potential, then you have what I call a system for the person to flow up to a bigger work. But must it be that you're organized, everybody do their own hunting, everybody do their own alliances? There's a lot of time wasted doing that. And I can tell you, for that to happen, you need a lot of goodwill. It doesn't happen by chance. So workforce must be, in order to improve the effectiveness and the efficiency of the sectors, we cannot leave it to chance. We cannot leave it to goodwill because you know the person and the person know you. We must introduce structures. A good example of a structure is this. When the talent join the charities, we must see this as not only joining the charity, we must see this as joining the sectors. And only when you redefine it that you are joining the sectors, then you must have structures such that the talent can flow from small charity sometimes to another small charity. You know why? Because sometimes your small charity, after certain areas, after 5 years, the person may want a change, but still want to work in small charities. Now, you have a structure whereby the person can change to another small charity that give the challenges. Or when the person has grown to a certain level of competency, it can then move to a medium charities so that the person feel that there is growth. So we need a talent management structures across the sectors. And it's not only about talent management. Why can't we have, example, why can't we have recruitment? Why can't we have recruitment for the sectors? We recruit talent, and then after that, we go around and look at the sectors and then deploy the talent. Not at individual level, but at a sector level, at a workforce level. Another very big job to be done at the workforce level is training. There is a skill future, but is there a skill future for our sectors? That someone actually plan the competency and the training roadmaps and the opportunity so that you no need to do it yourself, because you are part of the ecosystem. You yourself don't have economy of scale. If you yourself do it first, we are duplicating. Why we do many, where we can do once, use many? First. Second, by coming together, we have a bigger, what I call, because we are more effective and more efficiency, we have a better, what I call, assurance to people who want to help. And this includes the government, this includes the corporate. So it makes sense for us to have a structure for the workforce. And for the learning opportunity, the development opportunity, the structures I'm really looking at SUSS. We need a structure, a learning structure, so that you all no need to duplicate the learning. It's just like all you need to do is plug and play. You know that it will work because someone has thought of the structure. All you need to do is plug and play because you use what you need and you no need to download what you don't need. And yet you know someone is continuously developing and expanding the structure so that we are relevant, so that we can deal with new challenges. For example, COVID-19. COVID-19 have changed the world, by the way, my brothers and sisters. You know what are the one good example is you always share with me, money not enough. Because with COVID-19, number one, you cannot go around and ask people for money anymore. So this is where, as a structure, can we help you to raise funds? And we have done it. So we partner with SUSS and we organize calls on online fundraising so that you can continue to raise funds and yet able to comply with social distancing rules and regulations. So there is a lot of work to be done at the structural level. Let me now introduce you to the third W, and that is the workplace. You know, COVID-19 has redefined the workplace. In the past, I asked you, where do you work? Many of us reply, oh, I work in office. Today, I ask you, where do you work? Your reply must be, I work at home. In fact, see where I conduct my lecture. Don't get distorted by my background. This is not a real background. No? You want to see my real background? Let me show you my real background. I don't know if I can turn it off now. During the Q&A, if there's one, I will turn off the background. Then you know where I am. This picture is a picture of the library. But in actual fact, I am now in my room, home, my home office, which also double up as my bedroom if you want to know. See, the work the workplace has redefined itself already. But does it mean to say that working at home, I cannot do what I am doing in office? This is a question of innovation. We need to focus on innovations because the world is changing. In fact, if you ask me, will I continue to work at home even after COVID-19? My answer to you is maybe, but not as intensive as it is, but many of the things that I've been doing at home actually can be used so that I no need to travel and I can be more productive. Today, I meet up with my charity very regularly. Why? Because it's so easy. I no need to drive. I just have a Zoom appointment. The next moment, I on my Zoom and there we are. We have been chit-chatting as if we are what? Sitting across each other. That is the new norm, my brother and sister. The new norm is not about now. The new norm is about now, bring it to the future. What happened to the rest of the office space, which is empty after the new norm? This is where I encourage you against innovate. And I think that the key for the future of workplace must be the word collaboration. Those spaces that you have as a result of people working at home or as a result of we restructure ourselves should be used to promote collaboration. Do you in the charity have a space whereby the three groups of people meet and discuss the future of charities? Who are the three groups? The board, the management team, and the volunteer coming together. And this three group of people doesn't come by chance. You need to create space, time, and opportunity for them to come together. And do you have that space? Now, this again is about innovation. You need to create that space. Working together is not only about you working together in your charity. I share with you that the vision of the future of charity is one that we are working together as a sector. And this brings me back to concepts of a collaborative workspace for the sectors. I give you a story. One day my auntie, auntie and uncle are people who I address them. They are our pioneers who have helped to build this nation, who have laid the road for us to walk, who has planted the tree for us to enjoy the shade. And I have great passion for them, great gratitude for them. So one day, uncle called me. Oh, I'm about to be discharged from the hospital. Uncle suffer from chronic disease. Just like many of my uncle and auntie, they sacrifice their health so that the future generations can have a good life. And then uncle tell me, Charity A is providing medical escort for him to go back home. So when he reached home, uncle called me back again. Charity B is now helping me in the lunch or deliver lunch because uncle is staying alone, by the way. The better half passed away and he's alone. So lunchtime, they are delivering food. Then after lunch, uncle called again and said that now I got another charity C, to come to my house and teach me how to take my medicine, because chronic disease is a lifetime taking medicine. I can tell you, you think the number of medicine for our senior citizen is simple. I can tell you it's not simple. It comes in big plastic bag, So you need to sort out the medicine for them. So someone came and actually give them what I call, we got an organizer, but they got medicine organizer, such big box, and with many, many silos, and put all the medicine Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so that uncle just focus on each of the box. Hey, my brother and sister, don't take this for granted. Don't take this for granted. Many of my uncle and auntie, at their age and try to get them to do mathematic formula, go and look for color, go for medicine, very difficult. Easier to give them a box. And then charity D came in and bring uncle out. Why? To walk around so that uncle have good quality of life. And finally, you got charity E who come in, who regularly talk to uncle. Why? So as to keep him mentally alert. Mental health is a big problem for our senior citizens. So, who is organizing charity A to E? Uncle. All of them call uncle. My question to you is this. Should we have a collaborative space for charity A to E to come together so that the organizing of it is not done by uncle, but the organizing of this is done by the charity themselves? This will not happen unless we have a collaborative space among charities. Very important, you know, because as we move down the journey, our problem become more complex. Our problem become more urgent. So what is the solution? Well, I think the solution is in the area of digitization. Technology has made a big difference. And in fact, I will tell you it's an opportunity now. Because many of my uncle and auntie, because of the lockdown in the room, in the house, as a circuit breaker, and even now they are not encouraged to go out if you are of a certain age. And when you go out, you must really exercise care. What do? Many of them are start learning to use technology. The government is now stepping forward to really this. I'm not sure whether will you ever get such a big push for digitization. If the bus, if you don't hop onto this digital bus, next time the bus may not come again, you know. The government is actually committing to big amount, 1,000 digital ambassadors to make things happen. You still don't want to tap on it. You want to wait until the cow comes down. The cow may not come, you know. So my brother and sisters, the reason why we should push to digitize the workplace is number one, because the people has awakened. They don't have a choice. Right? All of us are cooked up in the house. Today, I live, work, and play using digital. I go for what? I work using digital. I play. You know, I play games now using digital. I even eat digital. You know. Have you ever had a dinner with people in front of you who is actually Zoom and then you talk as if you are eating across? Bo pian. And I went on to buy food. What do? I have to use digital. I have to use what? Panda la, cat la, mouse la, to order food, you know. Otherwise, I'll be starved. Now you see, I got no choice. So, because of all this, we are pushing very hard to digitalize the non-profit sectors. And I don't think you want to be left behind. So in conclusion, my brother and sisters, people management in the non-profit sectors focus on 3 W's. Work. And work is about meaningful and purposeful work. 2 is workforce. Workforce is about we, not as an individual, but we grow as a community. And the grow requires structure. Structure make things happen. Structure enable efficiency and effectiveness. 3, workplace. Workplace must be about collaboration. And workplace is not only physical workplace, but more importantly, workplace is also about digital workplace. And only when we pay attention to work, workforce, and workplace, then we can tell Singapore, I demand my fair share of talent. Only then can we make this demand? So my brother and sister, that is my sharing this morning. And you have any reactions, please share with me during the Q&A. If not, I see you all later. Thank you very much.